What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today I'm be reviewing Jurassic World Dominion. This one came out on Friday and was directed by Colin Trevorrow and stars Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. Now, before we start with the like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you can know for free video. Let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So, all the actors and actors in the film are fantastic. I thought every single person in this film was very, very good. All the main characters were great. The supporting characters, DeWanda Wise is one of the best characters, supporting characters in this film. I thought she was very good in this film. The opening sequence, I thought it was a great opening sequence. It's basically just dinosaurs around the world. We're seeing the results of the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom actually play out in the opening sequence, and it was a great opening sequence. Cinematography, which of course includes the shots, the cameras, the lighting, fantastic. Colin Trevorrow does a great job with setting up the shots for the different dinosaurs, making some of them scary, and just creating all the shots of the dinosaurs, making them wide so you can see how massive the dinosaurs are and you can see the scale and size of this entire film, because this film is a huge film, easily the biggest scope of the entire Jurassic Park franchise, and I think it shows just because of the cinematography. There's also great use of CGI and practical effects. The dinosaurs look fantastic. I think that the dinosaurs in Jurassic World were phenomenal. I really enjoyed what Colin Trevorrow brought to the table in terms of the CGI and practical effects. He did a great job. Fallen Kingdom, the same thing, although Colin Trevorrow wasn't working on it in the director's chair. J.A. Bayona, I think he did a great job with the practical effects. These effects in this film, I thought they're some of the best effects in the entire franchise. Some of them are a bit noticeable. The CGI is a bit noticeable in some of the dinosaurs, but a lot of them, especially when they use actual animatronics, fantastic. The first act of the film I thought was okay. It sets up the characters well. A lot of the characters we already know, so we don't really need to go into much detail with those characters, but there are about two or three new characters in this film. And it doesn't give them a lot of backstory. Two of them don't really have that much backstory at all. They're just in the film, which they didn't really need to be in the film because they didn't really service the story all that well, but they were just in the film, and I thought they were fine. Owen, Claire, and Maisie have a great family relationship between each other. Of course, Maisie is the girl from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, who was created by Lockwood because he lost his daughter and he created Maisie. And I think their relationship with between Owen, Claire, and Maisie was fantastic. There's an awesome sequence where Owen and the other people riding the horses round up the Packy, which is the dinosaur from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and this film. I thought it was awesome. That entire sequence with the score, the Jurassic World theme playing during that sequence in the snow, awesome sequence. Very, very well done. There's a Dennis Nedry-like character in the film, which is a very good Easter egg to the first film, which of course Dennis Nedry was in the first film. He was the son or grandson of Hammond. Awesome. Great Easter egg for Dennis Nedry's character in this film. There's a great sequence where Owen reunites with Barry, who's played by Omar Sy from the very first film, Jurassic World. And I thought their reunion was very well done. And there's an Atrociraptor sequence, which are these sort of velociraptors, but they do look different from velociraptors. It's awesome. One of the best sequences in this entire film. It's the Malta sequence, where it's basically a huge chase sequence. I thought it was one of the best sequences in the entire film. It's very exhilarating, very entertaining, kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. There are also some terrifying new dinosaurs, including the Atrociraptors, which, like I just mentioned, are those velociraptor-looking creatures. The Gigantosaurus, which is, of course, that huge, sort of big dinosaur monster at the end of the film. That is sort of the main dinosaur villain. And the Therizinosaurus, I pronounced that completely wrong, but that dinosaur was very, very awesome. It has these long claws. It was a great design for that dinosaur, and of course it was an actual real dinosaur. But like I stated earlier, the CGI for those three dinosaurs, fantastic. The film is very dumb. This is a very, very dumb film. Probably one of the dumbest in the entire Jurassic Park franchise, other than number three, but it was still very fun. I still had a lot of fun. If you know going into this film that this is going to be a dumb film about dinosaurs roaming the earth, then you're gonna have fun with it. But if you're expecting a serious film, you're not gonna get that out of this film at all. There's also a great return of the original cast, of course, Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Ellie Sattler, and Dr. Ian Malcolm. Those three characters I thought were fantastic. It's like they just came out of Jurassic Park 1993 back into this film, and they're awesome. I love those three characters. I've always loved those characters since when I was little watching Jurassic Park. And seeing them again in this final film was very, very heartwarming, and it was awesome. Um, there's also many great references to the original Jurassic Park, of course, with the Jeeps and the Dennis Nedry, that character. Many Easter eggs and references, but I think they were handled well. There are some tense sequences which I loved the tension in this film. Colin Trevorrow knows how to direct sequences with a lot of tension, because there are some tense sequences, especially Ellie Sattler and Claire Dearing with the Dilophosaurus. One of the most tense sequences in this entire film, kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time, and it was a lot of fun. There's also Dodgson, who was played by Campbell Scott. He was a good enough villain. He's not one of the best villains in the franchise, but he wasn't bad for me. I enjoyed his villain. He was sort of, I guess Campbell Scott wasn't overplaying Dodgson. I'm pretty sure he was written that way because he goes over the top in this film for a sort of villain, and I was fine with it. He was entertaining and he was fun throughout the entire film. He's also not one of the best villains. I thought Muldoon from the first Jurassic Park, I thought he would have been a better villain, but of course that was a long time ago. But a character like him in this sort of film would have been a better villain. He does meet his fate at the teeth of the Dilophosaurus, just like Dennis Nedry. And of course, they are similar characters between him and Dennis Nedry, but they are completely different. The third act of the film is very, very fun. I really enjoyed the whole third act of this film. While it is quick, it was fun nonetheless. It's basically the final battle with Rexy and the Therizontosaurus versus the Gigantosaurus. Like I stated, this is a bit too quick, but enjoyable nonetheless. The score by Michael Giacchino, fantastic. I love the score by Michael Giacchino. His Jurassic World theme, which of course takes from Jurassic Park, but he carries some of what he did in Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, places in this film with the score, and it works beautifully. And the ending sequence, I thought it was great. It was a great ending sequence, which is dinosaurs roaming the earth. Awesome ending sequence, and I thought it worked fantastic and was a great conclusion to this film. That's all the good that I have. Now to move on to the bad. So the original characters, while fun to see, they did not serve the story at all. If they were taken out of this film, it wouldn't have made any difference. I did not really know why they had to be in this film. Of course, I really wanted them to be in this film, but I wanted them to be in this film with a purpose. It felt like they were just there with all the other characters, just doing what they usually do from the 1993 film, but it didn't work all that well for me. But it was fun to see those three original characters. There is not enough Jurassic World in this film. This is called Jurassic World Dominion. There are dinosaurs roaming the Earth in the opening sequence, and that is basically it. I was expecting more from that. Dinosaurs are basically only roaming one place. Well, they do go to multiple locations, but it's not like you're seeing multiple dinosaurs and you're seeing people in their everyday lives sort of fighting off dinosaurs or whatever. You don't get any of that in this film, and that is unfortunate. It's mainly only the opening sequence. A biosyn, which is one of the main plot points of the film, is basically a new engine from the original Jurassic Park film. Biosyn did not work at all, as it was the main focus of this film. Colin Trevorrow, I don't know why he needed Biosyn to be the main focus of the film, because Campbell Scott plays Dodgson great. I thought he was great as Dodgson, but the character of Dodgson and Biosyn do not work at all. Biosyn should not have been included in this film. It's just yet another corporation trying to use the dinosaurs, trying to use the whole Indominus Rex and Velociraptors, trying to make dinosaurs. It's just the same thing over and over again. And if they would have kept it like the original Jurassic Park with just probably keeping it as engine, I thought it would have worked perfectly. Um, the second act of the film is somewhat entertaining, but it is a bit weak on a story level. The second act of the film, very entertaining, a lot of dinosaurs, but I didn't think that they really needed a lot of that second act. They could have cut this film down by a good amount. About 15 minutes could have been cut from this film if they would just change a few things with the story. I think it would have made it a really well done conclusion for this film. The prologue that Colin Trevorrow released last year should have been included in the film. Now, this may not be a detriment to some of you since this was not in the film at all, so you can't really take points off for that. But if Colin Trevorrow released the prologue, which was a fantastic prologue, very, very awesome. The cinematography looked phenomenal for that prologue, which we got last year. There's no reason why it shouldn't be in this film. I thought that if they put the prologue in this film for maybe the opening sequence and just transition from that to current time with dinosaurs roaming the earth, I thought it would have been a fantastic opening sequence. But he didn't, and that was the result. So that's about it. Jurassic World Dominion is an entertaining entry in the Jurassic Park franchise. As a conclusion, it was a bit messy, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed Jurassic World Dominion for what it was, but I did expect a bit more. And I'm going to give Jurassic World Dominion a B-. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to post notifications, and notify for a video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.